Morning everyone. I'm over here at the Edina Art Show in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is the kids zone right here, and I'm starting at this here because 16 years ago this is where the art section used to be in the show, and they moved this out from here and moved everything into the center of town, which is, well, I liked it back here myself, but they wanted to condense the show rather than have like people get a sense it was two different shows. They wanted to put it all in one group. That's my van. I'm camping last night. I moved it here. I'm closer to the show. I was at I camped at the church, but on Sundays they like the church parking lot free for obvious reasons for their customers. So let's just gonna take a quick walk through the show. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're not going to see much in the way of artists. Artists don't really like to have their pictures taken or video, and they definitely do not like to have their work taken. So, but this is my work here, and if you saw the last video, you saw how sloppy everything was. I haven't opened up my booth yet, but this is my section right here. This is the Edina Art Show, and this tells all the different categories. You can go to their website and you can pretty much see a map of the show as well as everything else. And so the show right there is basically across the street, and over there in the shopping center areas, they have a beer booth there and a live music playing over there. That's something very interesting that they've done this year also. Now I'll take you down the row of booths here. It's a very exclusive town, very expensive. Many $million-dollar homes in this area. Edina, 50th in France. So it's funny that it was 2 days ago on Friday. It was about 90 in the 90s in a day on Friday, and then yesterday, and that made it kind of slow day because it said it was going to be in the 80s, but it hit 90. And people do not like to come out in the hot weather. And I was perspiring just standing in my booth. And then yesterday, Saturday, it rained most of the day, but customers still showed up. It's a good that it's a 3-day show, because here in Minnesota in June, it's usually a pretty rugged time because the weather's so volatile. So it's a good as a 3-day show. We can get a lot more coverage if one day is bad, and it usually is at this show. Usually have one day that's a rain day. I've been here where there have been 2 rain days. So basically right now the show is about average in sales, I would say. There's a jewelry booth right here. Well, you can see the style of tents that they have, and you can see how some of these people have been doing shows for a while by their it's kind of yellowed, some of their booths. So yeah, this one here, the stand is getting this one here, the legs are buckling a little bit, and it's only about 20 miles an hour winds this morning, if that. I always look at what the wind conditions are, because what I need to do is I need to check it out for my wind dancers, my kinetic sculptures, which I don't leave out at night in case it gets really windy. So here they got homemade ice cream right up over here. Here are some of the shops. This is 50th in France, and I'm coming up on South France Avenue right here. Some of these domes Well, they're pretty expensive. They can run you a couple of $1,000. This one here is probably a photographer. It's a double booth. They usually go up pretty high. Yep, it's a photographer. That's the check-in booth right there. This is the Edina Theater. And this is their information booth right down here. Let's see if I can walk a little faster. Way I can warm myself up to at the same time. So, I say it's an average show. We'll see what Sunday brings. Sunday is Friday. The show runs till 7 o'clock. And Saturday, the show runs till about 7 o'clock also. And they've got buses bringing people in and out of the show because parking here is pretty difficult to find parking anywhere. We got an information booth up here. It's not the registration booth when you come to the show. And like I said before, you will need to bring an ID when you register to this show. So this is the main street and there is no traffic. They shut it down for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And some of the store owners also close up during the show. So I'm not going to show you any of the artwork because artists are real peculiar about that. And I don't blame them. I was that way myself many years ago. But after doing this for 40 years now, I'm not too worried about people stealing my work. If they really are going to steal my work, it's going to be more clandestine. They're going to be sneaky about it. Some people even buy my work and they will take it apart and see how it's built, especially the kinetic sculptures. Okay, I'm right here in the cross section here. It is pretty windy right here. The wind's coming out of the northwest, west-northwest. Like I say, pretty important. Okay, here's a pretty tall booth as well. Some of these domes are really expensive. Let's see, these people are from Florida. And yeah, I like coming out to Minnesota in the summer times only. And like I say, when beginning of September, I'll have my last show, put everything in storage, and I will be gone till next year. And next year will be my 20th year up here in Minnesota doing shows. And you know that you wouldn't come back here if I've got watercolors here. You wouldn't be come back here if it really wasn't worthwhile. So this is the show right down the main street here. The booths are back to back. Very tight show. You really got to have your you got to be pretty well organized here. Very nice shops here. Lots of really nice restaurants. They have Thai kitchen here. They've got, you know, all the joy that comes with being in a wealthy neighborhood. That's the end of the show right down there. There's a gas station down there at the very end. So we're going to walk our way back a little bit. You can just get a general feel for the booths. And very tight, as I say, very tight. So you got to get everything you can get into a 10 by 10 space unless you're going to get a double booth. The booth cost for a single booth at this show is $450. And so that makes double booth is $900. There's no discount for that. So my booth is off to the side. I have one of the last grassy areas in the show. The show used to be, like I said, it was in the back parking lot a long time ago. There's all full grass there. So if I had to do this show with no grass, I would have to, I wouldn't be able to do the show. Because all my work is sculptures that go into the ground and people can keep them up all year round. And being that it's copper. So I'm at the crossroads here again. You can see somebody's brought their truck in here. Hopefully they're restocking, fixing up their booth. And I'm going to be So you can go to the 50th of France website if you're ever interested in doing the show. I think it's worthwhile, and it is basically the first art show of the summer here in Minnesota, in Minneapolis area. And so this is the way it looks. Minnesota people, they love to eat their shaved ice. I don't care even if it's 50 degrees outside. They have ice cream walking around with t-shirts and shorts on. But they're used to weather that can go down to 40 below in the winter. April this year had snow in April. It was like 18 inches. They just laugh about it. They find it sort of exciting. And there we go. This is the show here. And there are a lot of photographers in the show. So your competition is going to be up there pretty high. And I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks very much. And I will see you at the next Arts and Crafts show. Please subscribe, hit the button, the bell, and share if you can. There we go.